Hi, this is Quinn, and welcome back to Quintech. So in this video, this is my Sega Genesis Part 4. I actually am using my Sega Genesis now. I ordered some parts off of eBay. I got the power cord and the AB cable. It's just the composite. It's not fancy, but I got the power cord and the AB cable from eBay, and now I have my Sega Genesis as opposed to my neighbor's Sega Genesis. I got his working, but that's his system. So I have my system, and now it's working again. So in this video, I did the repair off screen, so I just kind of pantomime or show off what I did in this video, where I cleaned the cartridge slot, and I did a couple other things. I showed it in the video. And then I also played a couple of games. I played Outrun, Turbo Outrun, and then Standard Outrun for the Sega Genesis. Both of the games I'm not that excited about. I really loved Outrun on arcade, but these Sega Genesis versions, not the best. Not terrible. I still had fun. I had a lot of fun. I did have a lot of fun. But not the best ports of the arcade. But still decent games. I didn't hate them, but I didn't love them. Alright. Well, that's basically what I did in this video. And I hope you enjoy it. And thanks for coming along on my next journey on Quintech Retro. And without further ado, let's move along with my latest video. Take care. Hi, this is Quinn, and welcome back to Quintech Retro. So this is, what is this, part 4? I think it's part 4. Some part of my Sega Genesis. And this is my actual Sega Genesis. And like I said in a previous video, I ordered a power cord because I didn't have a power cord and I didn't have an AV cable for this. So I just kind of showed it off in a previous video just so you could see what it looked like, but I didn't actually use it. But now I ordered from eBay, from an eBay seller. It came as a two-pack. It came with the AV cable. It's a stereo with your standard Model 2 and 3 plug, plus the AC adapter, which this thing feels like super light. They made it excessively big, I guess, just to kind of look like an older one. This could have been much smaller. I mean, there's no transformer inside here. That's very light, but it does work with this Model 2 Genesis. So there's only a couple of plugs in the back of this. One is the power. The other is the AV. I had to restart this because my SD card ran out of memory. So I had to delete some videos. But this AV cable plugs in here. And both of these are like super cheap replacements for the actual original hardware, but they work. I've already tested them out. This is kind of I've already done this off camera, but I'm going to show it on camera. What I did. So, when I first got this, I was like, well, I don't want to use my new cartridge. Let me just plug in a cartridge. Plugged it in, turned it on, black screen. Didn't want to work. It's like, okay, well, in my previous video, I did some cleaning. So I took my cleaning card. I went down in here. I cleaned the cartridge slot. Then I put it back in. It didn't work. So then I was like, well, let me. I squirted some alcohol on this Q-tip, and I put a generous amount of alcohol along this, and then I put it in and push it in, pulled it out, push it in, pulled it out, push it in, pulled it out, and pushed it in, and then I tested it again, and then lo and behold, it started working. So this system actually works again. All it needed was some power, an AV cable, and a little bit of cleaning of the cartridge port. So then when I finished that, I tested my two cartridges that I actually own, which is this multi-cart Sonic Classics, which has Sonic 1 and 2 and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, and then Flashback. But this is what I wanted to show off. I just got this 200 game cartridge. 201 game cartridge. So it's all pretty much commercial games. Phantasy Star. And I think this might even be the Sega Master System Phantasy Star, but I could be wrong. I haven't really gone through every single game that's on here, but there are a lot of games on here. Look, that's Land something. This has all the Streets of Rage. It has Fatal Fury 2. It has Samurai Show. Well, it actually has the Japanese Samurai Spirits. It has Super Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition, or whichever was the one that was released on the Genesis. And so this cartridge actually works pretty good. I got it last week. I've had a chance to play around with it a little bit. Sometimes I get some weird, like, screen glitches with the menu. Sometimes the lettering glitches out. But I'm going to hook this up to my computer through my capture, and I'll be right back so you can see what is on the... Well, actually, before I even do that, I'm curious. This cheap Chinese cartridge. I'm just curious what's inside here. See? Made in China. You can't even see that, can you? It's all blurry. Whatever. Trust me, that gold sticker says made in China. So this is just held in. You don't even need a security bit. Just your standard Phillips screws. And this plastic is kind of cheap. It's not like this harder plastic of the official cartridges, but hey, it is what it is. And I'm just curious what's inside here. This label is here. I don't want to... Oh, I guess it's not... Must have some clips or something on here that really hold it together good. Oh, there we go. So, really, it's just this little small PCB. It does have the CR2032 battery on there. From what I understand, all this does is on the games that have a save function, your saves get saved here. But I also read that it only works on one game at a time. So if you have more games that you're playing, which are mostly RPGs that would actually have a save game function, you can only save one game at a time. So you got to finish that game, and then when you start the next game, then you lose your save file from the previous game. Which, how many games can you be playing at the same time, honestly? Alright, that's back together. Put the screws back in. I think this one was over here. And I'm going to use a little trick. Go backwards till it finds the groove. And screw it in. And this doesn't need to be that tight because it already has the clips holding it together. And let's try the other side. So this came in last week, about a week and a half ago, before I went on my trip. And I did play around with it on my neighbor's Sega Genesis because I hadn't gotten my power and AV cords yet. But now I have them, and now this is working. My Sega Genesis. So now I'm going to hook this up, and I do have my original 3-button controller. Technically it's 4 buttons with the start button, but they call it a 3-button controller. This is mine. that I've had since way back in the day. But then my neighbor, he had a 3-button controller. Plus, he had the original 6-button controller. I've asked him if I could borrow this or maybe buy it off of him. And he's like, well, how much is it worth? He doesn't have any games that even use 6 buttons, but you can get like a generic knockoff replacement for about $8. But I don't know how much the original one is worth. But I was just, I don't know. I'll have to negotiate with him, I guess, and see how that works out. But there are several games on this cart, mostly fighting games, that use all 6 buttons, you know. Light punch, medium punch, hard punch, light kick, medium kick, hard kick. Whereas if you had the 3-button controller, it had this weird thing where you'd have to hit start to switch between, or they had to come up with some kind of creative solutions to only have 3 buttons with a fighting game that should have at least 4, if not 6 buttons. So next I'm going to show some gameplay. Alright, thanks for coming along. Hey guys, welcome back to Quintech. This is Quinn on Quintech Retro, and yeah, I like those birds. Anyway, yeah, so on this video I am using my 201 Chinese knockoff multi-cart for my Sega Genesis. I finally got my Sega Genesis working because I had to get the power supply and the AB cable for it, and I bought those. It came in a set. Both came together from eBay. I think it was like $17 was less than $20, I'm pretty sure, for both the power supply and the AB cable. And I'm hooked that up to this, which I'm using my capture device, my cheap knockoff Chinese capture device that plugs up through the USB port. And I had to fiddle around, but now I have it working. So let me start this cart so you can see it. Alright, so I just had to press the start button, and there you go. This is the start cart, or the 200 game cart. So like I say, it has 200 games. It's a little bit, I don't know. If you hit the B button, it goes to 51. I guess it goes 50 at a time. 101, 151. So if you hit the A and B, it goes 50 at a time. But if you hit the right and left D-pad, right D-pad goes to 11, 21, 31, 41, goes 10 at a time, one screen at a time. So this isn't exactly in alphabetical order. It sort of jumps around, I don't know. So I want to play a fairly simple game. So I'll be honest, I did try this before, but I was using the wrong video like format. I was using the MKV, which is apparently not compatible with my editing software, so I switched to MP4. So I did already try this, so now this time Last time I did easy mode, and there were no cars on the road, and it was boring. So I'm gonna at least do... Oops. What happened? Where is it? Outrun. Well, what's going on here? It was there a minute ago. Maybe I'll have to do Super Outrun. There was a Super Outrun. Maybe I'll have to do that one. Streets of Rage. Ease. X-Men 2. Truxton. True Lies. There's Turbo Outrun. Okay, well let's try Turbo Outrun then. Originally I tried Outrun, but I guess I'm gonna have to play Turbo Outrun this time. It's probably the same game, I don't know. Maybe a different region. Press start. Options. See, this one doesn't even give me. A is brake, B accelerate, C turbo. Pad down, gear change. So C is turbo. I like that. Start. And I'd rather do automatic anyway. So I don't even have to use the shift change. Get ready! Oh look, you already, on this version, you've already lost the, oh damn. You've already lost the, damn. You've already lost the Ferrari emblem. Wow, this is terrible. Or I'm terrible. Maybe it's just me. I'm running into everything. Arg. So this is obviously a different game. I was playing Outrun before. And this is Turbo Outrun. I think Outrun was better. Ah, thank goodness game over, because, yeah. I'd rather play regular Outrun than Turbo Outrun. That was annoying. Let me reset this. And let me play some Outrun. The last time I tried this, when it was the wrong video format, I didn't even play this. I played a different Outrun. So let me see what that one is. And it was on this multi-cart, this 200 game multi-cart. I played some Thunder Force last time, but That was last time. Like I say, part of it goes in alphabetical order, but then it deviates from that occasionally. There's Outrun. So let's try it. The original. And I'm gonna do normal mode instead of easy mode, because easy mode there were no other cars on the street and it was really boring. So let's just start. Let's just do the basics. Well, this is normal mode, and there's still no cars on the road. What's going on here? So boring. Maybe that's why it had such a bad reviews back in the day, because it was cheap. They cheapened the Outrun experience. Outrun, the arcade game, was fun. They actually had like sit down models where you could like, it was like you're sitting down in a car and had a steering wheel. I mean, it wasn't that complicated a game, but it was still fun to sit down and have a steering wheel and a gas pedal and all that. That's what they used to do back in the day. So this one, you just have a controller. I don't think I'm gonna make it. Yeah, game over. I didn't quite make it, but I still had some fun. After my last test run, I was expecting this, and hopefully this video saves correctly, because I was using MP4 instead of MKV, because apparently my editing software, if you try to load an MKV in it, it doesn't quite recognize that. I could probably convert it to an MP4, but that would take an extra step, and sometimes it doesn't work. But thank you for coming along on this video. Actually, I'm glad I played two versions of Turbo Outrun and then regular Outrun, so you could see how this works on the Sega Genesis, on my 200 game mega multi-cart from China, but it doesn't have some generic games. It has actual games that were released, so it's nice to be able to play all these games on an actual console. You plug the cartridge in and just play it. Just play it on the console. So anyway, thanks for coming along, and you take care, and I appreciate you, and have a great night. Love ya. Mean it. Bye.